I'm Helen Davis, an employee of the DeWitt District Library, and I am reading The Last Gunfight by Jeff Guinn. You may think that you know the story of the shootout at the OK Corral, but Jeff Guinn's nonfiction book provides some detailed account of the culture and the towns that produced the characters that were involved in the fight. The Last Gunfight, the real story of the shootout of the OK Corral and how it changed the American West by Jeff Guinn, provides several surprises about life in the mining towns of the American Southwest. In 2010, Jeff Guinn wrote another book, The True Untold Story of Bonnie and Clyde, which won an Edgar Award. This book is another thoroughly researched story of the true crime in the Southwest. The fatal confrontation that took place in Tombstone, October 26, 1881, was the culmination of opposing opinions and desires that had built up over a period of several years. The story has been told simplistically on TV, movies, but it's been told as a showdown between noble lawmen and a gang of brutal outlaws. In reality, none of the shootings even took place in the OK Corral. Attempted murder in an empty lot on Fremont Street just does not have the ring of the Wild West. Wyatt Earp was a member of a family that had long been involved in law enforcement. Wyatt, his father, and two brothers had been police chiefs, city, and assistant U.S. marshals as they followed the migration patterns across the American West. Wyatt had hoped to make a good living as the sheriff of Tombstone. In these small towns, it was customary for the sheriff to be the tax collector, and as remuneration, they were allowed to keep 10% of their take. So, this was a lucrative job. Wyatt had developed a good technique for dealing with drunken rowdies. He just knocked them over the head and dragged them off to jail. And it was an effective way to keep a lid on a Wild West town. But during the time that he'd been sheriff, he had made some dangerous enemies. There were groups of men that did not consider a crime to cross the Mexican border to rustle cattle. One of these groups decided to supply Tombstone with beef. When this group cooperated with local ranchers, they then became the enemies of the law. The shootout involved one of these ranching families. So Earp and his friends became defendants in a large, well-publicized local trial. This was another step in the taming of the Wild West, when people realized that the rule of law had to prevail over gunfights.